Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are tackling an important topic, which is disaster recovery vs failover. These two terms are often used interchangeably, but they are referred to different purposes in system design. In this video, we'll break down what each term means, their differences, and how they work together to ensure resilience in your system. Let's get started. First, what is disaster recovery? Disaster recovery, or DR, is a set of plans and processes that help an organization recover and restore its system, data, and infrastructure after a major failure or disaster. The focus is on ensuring that critical operations can resume after disruptions like natural disasters, hardware failures, or cyber attacks. For instance, imagine a data center is damaged due to a natural disaster. Disaster recovery involves switching operations to backup data centers, restoring data from backups, and bringing systems back online. Okay, what is failover? Failover is a process of automatically switching from a failed system component to a backup. The focus of failover is to minimize downtime and ensure continuity by rerouting traffic or operations to redundant components almost instantly. For example, if the primary server handling your website crashes, failover automatically redirects requests to a standby server so that users don't experience downtime. Failover is all about immediate response to component level failure. Okay, let me talk about the key difference between disaster recovery and failover. The first thing, we'll talk about the scope and purpose. Failover deals with short-term continuity by switching to backup components when there is a failure. It's about keeping things running without interruption. Disaster recovery, it's a broader in scope and involves restoring the entire system after a major event. It's not just about keeping things running, but also about restoring lost data and rebuilding damaged infrastructure. Second, the speed and response time. Failover typically happens in seconds or minutes. It's about time, it's about immediate switching to avoid any service disruption. Disaster recovery, on the other hand, often takes hours or even days to fully restore services, depending on the severity of the incidents and the RTO and the RPO targets. Number three, automation and manual intervention. Failover is usually an automated process that reroutes traffic or operations without manual intervention. Disaster recovery often involves manual steps, such as restoring backups, setting up infrastructure, and running recovery script, although parts of it can be automated. Okay, how failover and disaster recovery work together. Failover and disaster recovery work hand in hand to ensure resilience. Imagine a scenario where data center experience a power outage. Failover kick in first, immediately redirecting traffic to a backup server or data center to maintain service continuity. Second, in the meanwhile, the disaster recovery process starts to restore the failed data center, ensuring that once the primary infrastructure is repaired, the system can be returned to its original state. Let's take an example. In an e-commerce platform, if the main server goes down, um, failover will immediately redirect requests to a backup server to keep the site running. At the same time, the disaster recovery team will work to restore the primary server, ensuring no data is lost and that everything can be returned to normal. If you want to talk about real world examples, um, we can, like in the failover and disaster recovery example, in Netflix is a perfect example of how failover and disaster recovery work together. Netflix uses multi-region architecture, If one data center goes down, failover immediately switches users to another region to continue streaming without interruption. At the same time, disaster recovery processes begin to restore the failed data center and bring it online. Okay, there are some challenges. Sorry. There are some challenges implementing failover and disaster recovery. First is cost. Maintaining redundant infrastructure for failover and backup data centers for disaster recovery can be expensive. Second, complexity. Setting up automated failover mechanisms and a comprehensive disaster recovery plan adds complexity. Third, testing. Regular testing, failover, and disaster recovery processes without impacting customers requires careful planning. Okay, so let's talk about best practices for implementing failover and disaster recovery. First thing, which will be regular testing. The first step by practice, the first best practice is to regularly test both failover and disaster recovery. Failover testing should be frequent to ensure automatic switching works as expected, while disaster recovery testing ensure backups are up to date and recovery processes are efficient. Second, automate where possible. Automate your failover processes to minimize downtime. For disaster recovery, use cloud tools to automate backup and restore procedure wherever possible to reduce recovery time. Third, understand your RTO and PRO. It's crucial to define your RTO with recovery time objective, and also your RPO, which is recovery point objective, knowing how quickly you need to recover and how much data loss is acceptable will guide your failover and disaster recovery strategy. So to wrap up, failover and disaster recovery are both critical for building resilient systems, but they serve different purposes. Failover is about immediate switching to ensure short-term continuity during a component failure. On the other hand, disaster recovery is a broader strategy for restoring systems and data after major disruption. In the next video, we will dive into how to design systems for high availability while balancing cost and complexity. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future video. So that's it for this video, and see you in the future.